Hello and welcome to Renew. Renew is a show about the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University. The College of Forest Resources promotes and enables the conservation, management, and wise use of our natural resources. I'm your host, Leslie Berger. Today's show is going to feature one of the 3 units within the College of Forest Resources, the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts. And here to represent that unit is postdoctoral associate, Mariam Mohammadi Arag. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, after some rough starts with technology, we finally got it figured out. I like it much better when we were able to meet face to face here in the studio, but that's just not where we are. So we will do the next best thing. I appreciate you coming and joining us today. Could you tell me?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm glad you're able to do it. Would you tell me a little bit about what it is that that led you to your current position within the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts?
Yes, absolutely. So initially, my background is in food science, but I have a kind of a passion for public health, but I also want to expand more into environmental protection, which led me to reach out to Dr. Stokes, who does a lot of environmental research at Sustainable Bioproducts, which is where I completed my PhD. And then it just so happened there was a fantastic study that was going on, and thankfully I was able to join as a postdoctoral research associate to continue on this study in the department.
Okay. What was the doctoral research that you were doing?
My doctoral research had to do with utilizing biomass wastes that are produced in forest products, such as biochar and wood vinegar. And I used them to try to kind of improve the environmental, the sustainability of utilizing poultry litter as a fertilizer in agricultural crops. So I combined biochar and wood vinegar and poultry litter to see how it improved nutrient retention and also microbial abundance, as well as the prevalence of class 1 integrons, which are associated with antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So that's how I kind of incorporated this merging of public health protection and environmental protection.
Okay, that sounds very interesting and very complicated, actually. So from a public health standpoint or environmental health standpoint, what is the relationship of the poultry litter and the char and the wood vinegar?
Sure. So poultry litter is very rich in nutrients. However, when it's applied to the field, a lot of times some of these nutrients can leach out due to rainfall, which actually it causes a lot of ecosystems around it to have too many nutrients. And what happens is that microorganisms like bacteria or algae, they can use up these nutrients and it kind of sucks out all of the oxygen in these ecosystems and kills everything else. And so if you can help to keep the nutrients actually in the poultry litter and not spreading out into the environment around it, then you're going to protect the environment, but also increase the value of that fertilizer.
Okay, so the litter is being applied as a fertilizer, but it doesn't always stay where it was intended to stay. Through rainwater, rain events, can cause it to leach off and then end up in the water supply, which is where the problem lies. Okay, so what did you learn in your research? What were the outcomes?
Yeah, so what I learned was adding biochar really helped with the physical properties of the litter. It made it a lot less compacted, a lot more aerated, so to speak. Also, I did find that by adding 10% and 20% biochar in the total proportion of the litter, actually retained nitrogen and phosphorus over time. So that was very good to improve the physical qualities of the poultry litter blend that would be applied to the field, and also improve the nutrient retention. So that was very good news. Wood vinegar did not really have so much of an effect on nutrients. However, it did bring the overall microbial load down, which could be good if that was your goal. Sometimes that's not people's goal if they want to use this for composting, where you want to keep your microbial communities healthy. But if you want to apply it to the field, it might be better to actually have a lower microbial load.
Right. Well, that's very interesting and very relevant work that you're doing. We have less than a minute left, but I would like for you to real quickly have a word for young women who might want to follow in your steps in science.
Oh, I would highly encourage them that there are so many opportunities. You just have to, reach out and look and be confident. Don't be afraid of rejection or anything like that. I love the lab I'm in. It's an all-female lab, and it has been since I came here as a doctoral student. So I would highly encourage it.
Well, I appreciate that. I encourage it too, but I'm a generation or so away from you, so it's really good to hear it from those who are experiencing it right now. I wish you the best on your postdoctoral position, and hopefully we can catch up and learn a little bit more about that later on. But we are out of time. So,
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll be right back just after a break.
Want a career as big as the outdoors? Want to have an impact on the environment? The College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University delivers hands-on training, ensuring clean air and water, wildlife habitats, and a sustainable environment. Creating new wood products and retooling old ones for today and tomorrow. Find a career in whatever path you choose. Majors in forestry, natural resource and environmental conservation, sustainable bioproducts, wildlife, fisheries, and aquaculture. Want a career as big as the outdoors? Choose the College of Forest Resources at Mississippi State University.
Discovery. It tells our history and determines our future. At Mississippi State University, we're digging deep, unlocking an understanding of our past, validating it. Middle East exploration by faculty and students is uncovering evidence that unravels ancient mysteries. Scholars have long thought of the biblical kings David and Solomon as mythological figures. Our research offers evidence that supports their existence, boosting MSU into an international league of experts on archaeology. Now we're changing the way people think about the past, opening up new possibilities of understanding for future generations. Digging deeper, learning more.
Hello and welcome back to Renew. We've been learning a little bit about the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts at Mississippi State University, and here to joining me now is postdoctoral associate Dr. Gabby Dos Santos Bobadilla. How'd I do?
You did pretty well. It was really good. A good accent.
Thank you.
I know that Bobadilla is a little bit hard for.
I channeled my best Hispanic, my little bit of Spanish. But you're from Portugal. I mean, you're from Brazil, where they speak Portuguese, not Spanish. So how did a woman from Brazil end up here in Starkville, Mississippi?
It's like a long story, but I'll try to be short. Give you a short version. My husband and we met back in Brazil in 2014, and we were both doing our masters there. And there was this couple. They came here to Mississippi State. They were both doctorate students here, and they were talking about the opportunity of going to Mississippi State and having the opportunity to study there for the PhD. And back then, he was my fiancé, so he was interested in this opportunity, and he decided that he would study English and he would come here. So we got married, we came, and when he started, I didn't have any English.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to study English, and then I went to the ESL, English as a second language, here at Mississippi State. And then I did the test. The TOEFL test is like a proficiency test for internationals. And I passed. I got the score, and I came up here to study my PhD. It was
Well,
really great.
yes, your English is very good. And it's much
Thank
better
you.
than my Portuguese or my Spanish. So I commend you on doing that. So you did successfully complete your PhD because now you're in a postdoctoral position. So what is that work that you're doing now?
Right now, I'm still doing like the same project I was doing my PhD. In my PhD, we are evaluating different types of paints, coatings, stains, and we were looking at their durability, how they would perform when they were exposed outside, outdoors. But we were not just evaluating the durability of these coatings. We were evaluating if they were able to prevent degradation on a type of wood product that is very popular right now in our sector, in the forest products industry. It's called Cross-Laminated Chamber. And it's just a bunch of lumber glued together, but they are not like in the same position. They are like crosswise. So that's what I did. And I'm still evaluating these samples. They are still outside. So every 6 months, I go outside, I get the samples, evaluate their color. I evaluate if they are cracking, if they have some type of flaking. I look at the surface to see if we have like mildew growing on the top of the surface. And we're not just evaluating these samples here in Mississippi. There are also another set in Wisconsin, in Madison. So we are doing that. But I also work with like multiple projects at the same time, but this is the major one.
Right. Well, I can see where that kind of work is really important. We like to be able to use wood products because they are a sustainable product. You can grow more, and it's not like something that you drag out of the ground like coal or oil that once it's used up, it's gone. We can replant and be able to continue that source of product, but it has to be able to survive.
Yes.
And here in the South particular, where we have so much moisture, rot becomes a real problem. So your work is very timely stuff that you're doing there. Well, I've enjoyed getting to know what you're doing there. We only have just about 15 seconds, so real quickly, where do you see yourself going?
I see myself working in research. It doesn't need to be in academia. Like I still have the dream of working one day in the industry because I want to apply all that I've gained, like all my knowledge in the industry to see the forest products industry progressing even more. So I think I'm very ambitious on that. So that's one of my plans.
That sounds amazing. And we need people with your educational skills and your communication skills, both on the industry side and the academia side. So thank you for joining us today. I enjoyed learning about your work. For the rest of you, I hope you've learned a little bit more about some of the exciting work that's being done here in the College of Forest Resources in the Department of Sustainable Bioproducts. I hope to see you again soon. I've been your host, Leslie Berger.